Friends, hello friends, hello friends, hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So this is Pramod and this is another CompTIA Security Plus real exam question series, and this part is also very helpful to pass the CompTIA Security Plus exam. So let's go to the questions, and this is the question: which of the following would help ensure a security analyst is able to accurately measure the overall risk to an organization when a new vulnerability is disclosed? Option A, full inventory of all hardware and software. Option B, documentation of system classifications. Option C, a list of system owners and their departments. Option D, third-party risk assessment documentation. And the correct answer for this question is option A, a full inventory of all hardware and software. So let's check the explanation. A full inventory of all hardware and software is essential for a security analyst to accurately measure the overall risk when a new vulnerability is disclosed, because it allows them to immediately identify exactly which system might be affected. Without this inventory, the analyst might mix vulnerable systems or not able to prioritize remediation efforts effectively. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, full inventory of all hardware and software. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, which of the following best practices gives administrators to set period to perform changes to an operational system to ensure availability and minimize business impacts? Option A, impact analysis. Option B, schedule downtime. Option C, backout plan. Option D, change management boards. And the correct answer for this question is option B, scheduled downtime. So let's check the explanation. So scheduled downtime is a best practice that involves planning a specific predetermined period to perform necessary changes, maintenance, or updates to an operational system. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option B, scheduled downtime. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, a company must ensure sensitive data at rest is rendered unreadable. So which of the following will the company most likely use? Option A, hashing. Option B, tokenization. Option C, encryption. Option D, segmentation. And the correct answer for this question is option C, encryption. So let's check the explanation. Encryption is the process of converting sensitive data, plain text, into a unreadable format, ciphertext, using an algorithm and a key. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option C, encryption. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, a legacy device is being decommissioned and is no longer receiving updates or patches. So which of the following describes this scenario? Option A, end of business. Option B, end of testing. Option C, end of support. Option D, end of life. And the correct answer for this question is option D, end of life. So let's check the explanation. The scenario described where a legacy device is being decommissioned and no longer receives updates or patches perfectly matches the definition of end of life. This is the final stage in a product's life cycle where the vendor stops all support, including technical assistance, updates, and patches, leading to the device's retirement. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option D, end of life. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, a bank insists all of its vendors must prevent data loss on stolen laptops. So which of the following strategies is the bank requiring? Option A, encryption at rest. Option B, masking. Option C, data classification. Option D, permission restrictions. And the correct answer for this question is option A, encryption at rest. So let's check the explanation. When a laptop is stolen, the data stored on its drive is considered at rest. Encryption at rest ensures that the data is secure and inaccessible to unauthorized individuals without the proper decryption key. This makes it an effective strategy for preventing data loss in the event of device theft. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, encryption at rest. So let's move to the next question. And the next question is, the company's end users are reporting that they are unable to reach external websites after viewing the performance data for the DNS servers. The analyst discovers that the CPU, disk, and the memory uses are minimal, but the network interface is flooded with inbound traffic. Network logs shows only a small number of DNS queries sent to this server. So which of the following best describes what the security analyst is seeing? Option A, concurrent session uses. Option B, secure DNS cryptographic downgrade. Option C, on-path resource consumption. Option D, reflected denial of service. So let's check the explanation. The correct answer is reflected denial of service. So the security analyst is seeing a reflected denial of service RDoS attack. This is because the minimum resource uses on the DNS server, the flow of inbound traffic, and the resulting inability for users to reach external websites are all characteristics of an RDoS attack, where attackers spoof a victim's IP address in request to third-party server, causing it to flood the victim with responses. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option D, reflected denial of service. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, a system administrator wants to prevent users from being able to access data based on their responsibilities. The administrator also wants to apply the required access structure via simplified format. So which of the following should the administrator apply to the site recovery resource group? Option A, RBAC. Option B, SEL. Option C, SAML. Option D, GPO. And the correct answer for this question is option A, RBAC, role-based access control. So let's check the explanation. So RBAC, role-based access control, is a method that restricts network access based on individual's role within the enterprise. In this scenario, the administrator wants to assign permissions based on user responsibilities and a simplified format, which perfectly aligns with the RBAC's core function of assigning permissions to roles rather than individual users. By applying RBAC to the site recovery resource group, users are only granted the access necessary to perform the specific job functions, thereby enforcing the principle of least privilege in a streamlined manner. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, RBAC, role-based access control. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, during the onboarding process, an employee needs to create a password for an intranet account. The password must include 10 characters, numbers, and letters, and two special characters. Once the password is created, the company will grant the employee access to other company-owned websites based on the intranet profile. So which of the following access management concept is a company most likely using to safeguard intranet accounts and grant access to multiple sites based on a user's intranet account? Choose two out of these options. Option A is a federation. Option B is identify proofing. Option C is a password complexity. Option D, default password changes. Option E, password manager. Option F, open authentication. And the correct answer for this question is option A, federation, and option C, password complexity. So let's check the explanation. The company using federation and password complexity to manage the employee's account access. Password complexity ensures the password is strong and secure, while federation allows the employees to access multiple company-owned websites with a single set of credentials once the internet profile is established. So that's why the correct answer is federation and password complexity. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, which of the following describes a security alerting and monitoring tool that collects system, application, and network logs from multiple sources in a centralized system? Option A, SIM. Option B, DLP. Option C, IDS. And option D, SNMP. And the correct answer for this question is option A, SIM, Security Information and Event Management. So let's check the explanation. So SIM is a solution specifically designed to collect, aggregate, and analyze log data and events from various sources such as network devices, servers, and applications in a centralized system. This allows security analysts to monitor, detect, and respond to potential security incidents effectively by providing a unified, viewed, and correlating data from different sources. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, security information and event management. So let's move to the next question. The next question is a network manager wants to protect a company's VPN by implementing multi-factor authentications that uses something you know, something you have, something you are. So which of the following would accomplish the manager's goal? Option A, domain name, PKI, GeoIP lookup. Option B, VPN IP address, company ID, facial structure. Option C, password, authentication token, thumbprint. Option D, company URL, TLS certificate, home address. And the correct answer for this question is option C, password, authentication, token, and thumbprint. Explanation is the multi-factor authentication MFA requires users to provide two or more distinct types of evidence factors to gain access. So that's why the correct answer is C, password, authentication token, and thumbprint. This is the question. Which of the following best ensures minimal downtime and data loss for organizations with critical computing equipment located in earthquake prone areas? Operation A, generators and UPS. Option B, offsite replication. Option C, redundant cold sites. And option D, high availability networking. And the correct answer for this question is option B, offsite replication. So let's check the explanation. So offsite replications involves copying data to geographically distant location, which ensures that data is preserved even if the primary site is completely destroyed by a localized natural disaster like an earthquake. This strategy is crucial for both data loss prevention and for enabling quick recovery operations at an alternate site, thereby minimizing downtime. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option B, offsite replication. So let's move to the next question. The next question is which of the following exercises should an organization use to improve its incident response process? Option A, tabletop. Option B, replication. Option C, failover. Option D, recovery. And the correct answer for this question is option A, tabletop. So let's check the explanation. A tabletop exercise is an informal discussion based session where personnel meet in a conference room or a similar setting to discuss their roles and response during an emergency or simulated security incident. This type of exercise is basically designed for this incident response process. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, tabletop. So let's move to the next question. Next question is a newly identified network access vulnerability has been found in the operating system of legacy IoT devices. So which of the following would best mitigate this vulnerability quickly? Option A, insurance. Option B, patching. Option C, segmentation. Option D, replacement. And the correct answer for this question is option C, segmentation. So let's check the explanation. For legacy IoT devices, patches may not be available because the vendor no longer supports the operating system. Therefore, patching, the ideal solution for supported systems, is not a feasible for quick mitigation strategy. Segmentation involves isolating the vulnerable devices from the rest of the network, thereby limiting the potential attack surface and reducing the risk of the vulnerability being exploited and spreading to the other systems. This can be implemented quickly as a compensating control until a long-term solution like replacement can be implemented. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option C, segmentation. So let's move to the next question. Next question is after an audit, an administrator discovers all users have access to confidential data on a file server. So which of the following should the administrator use to restrict access to the data quickly? Option A, group policy. Option B, content filtering. Option C, data loss prevention. Option D, access control list. And the correct answer for this question is option D, access control list. So let's check the explanation. So access control list provide a direct and immediate method to manage permissions on a file server at the file and folder level. An administrator can quickly modify the ACLs for the specific confidential data to restrict access to only authorized users or groups, which take effects immediately. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option D, access control list. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, a client demands at least 99.99% uptime from a service provider's hosted security services. So which of the following documents includes information the service provider should return to the client? Option A, MOA, option B, SOW, option C, MOU, and option D, SLA. And the correct answer for this question is option D, SLA. So let's check the explanation. So SLA, a service level agreement, is a formal contract between a service provider and a client that defines the specific level of service expected, including key performance metrics like uptime guarantees. Example, 99.99% uptime. It ensures accountability and sets clear expectations for both parties regarding the performance of the services provided. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option D, SLA. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, a company is discarding a classified storage array and hires an outside vendor to complete the disposal. So which of the following should a company request from the vendor? Option A, certification. Option B, inventory list. Option C, classification. Option D, proof of ownership. And the correct answer for this question is option A, certification. So let's check the explanation. For a classified storage array containing sensitive data, the company must ensure that the data is securely and irreparably destroyed. A certification, specifically certificate of destruction or sanitization certificate from the vendor, serves as a formal auditable proof. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, certification. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, a company is planning a disaster recovery site and needs to ensure that a single natural disaster would not result in the complete loss of regulated backup data. So which of the following should the company consider? Option A, geographic dispersion. Option B, platform diversity. Option C, hot site. Option D, load balancing. And the correct answer for this question is A, geographic dispersion. So let's check the explanation. So geographic dispersion is the practice of storing backup data in different physical locations that are far enough apart to minimize the risk of a single natural disaster. Example, a flood, earthquake, or hurricane, affecting both the primary site and the backup site. This directly addresses a requirement of the question to ensure that a single natural disaster would not result in the complete loss of regulated backup data. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, geographic dispersion. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, a security analyst locates a potentially malicious video file on a server and needs to identify both the creation date and the file's creator. So which of the following actions would most likely give the security analyst the information requirement? Option A, obtain the file's SHA-256 hash. Option B, use hexdump on the file's contents. Option C, check endpoint logs. Option D, query the file's metadata. And the correct answer for this question is option D, query the file's metadata. So let's check the explanation. So metadata is the data that describes other data such as its formal origin, creation date, author, and other attributes. Video files, like other types of files, can contain metadata that can provide useful information for forensic analysis. For example, metadata can reveal the camera model, location, date and time, and software used to create or edit the video file. To query the file's metadata, security analysts can be various tools such as median info FRP probe or hexadams3 to extract displays the metadata from the video file. By querying the file's metadata, the security analyst can most likely identify both the creation date and the file's creator, as well as other relevant information. Obtaining the file's SHA-256 hash, checking endpoint logs, or using hexadump on the file's contents are other possible actions, but they are not the most appropriate to answer the question. The file's SHA-256 hash is a cryptographic value that can be used to verify the integrity or uniqueness of the file, but it does not reveal any information about the file's creation date or creator. Checking endpoint logs can provide some clues about the file's original activity, but it may not be reliable, accurate, especially if the logs are tampered with or incomplete. Using hexadecimal file on the file's contents can show the raw binary data of the file, but it may not be easy or feasible to interpret the metadata from the hex output, especially if the file is large or encrypted. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option D, query the file's metadata. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, which of the following teams combines both offensive and defensive testing techniques to protect an organization's critical systems? Option A, red. Option B, blue. Option C, purple. Option D, yellow. And the correct answer for this question is option C, purple. So let's check the explanation. The purple team is collaborative function, often not permanent separate team, but a process that integrates offensive testing techniques of the red team and the defensive strategies of the blue team to maximize the effectiveness of an organization's security posture. This collaboration ensures continuous improvement and detection and response capabilities by sharing real-time insights and methodologies. That's why the correct answer for this question is option C, purple. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, a small business uses kiosks on the sales floor to display product information for customers. The security team discovers the kiosks use end-of-life operating systems. So which of the following is the security team most likely to document as a security implication of the current architecture? Option A, patch availability. Option B, product software compatibility. Option C, ease of recovery. Option D, cost of replacement. And the correct answer for this question is option A, patch availability. So let's check the explanation. So end of life operating systems are no longer supported by their vendors, meaning they do not receive regular security updates or patches to address newly discovered vulnerabilities. This makes them an attractive target for attackers who can exploit known security flaws. A security team would recommend this lack of ongoing vendor support and patch availability as a major security implication or vulnerability of using end-of-life systems. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, patch availability. And this is the question, which of the following vulnerabilities is exploited when an attacker overwrites a register with a malicious address? Option A, VM escape. Option B, SQL injection. Option C, buffer overflow. Option D, race condition. And the correct answer for this question is option C, buffer overflow. So let's check the explanation. A buffer overflow vulnerability occurs when a program writes more data to buffer, a temporary data holding area in memory that it can handle. This excess data overflow into adjacent memory locations, potentially overwriting critical data, including registers. An attacker exploits this by providing carefully crafted input that overrides a register, such as instruction pointer with a malicious address, thereby redirecting the program's executions flow to arbitrary malicious code that the attacker controls. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option C, buffer overflow. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, which of the following would be the best way to handle a critical business application that is running on a legacy server? Option A, segmentation. Option B, isolation. Option C, hardening. Option D, decommissioning. And the correct answer for this question is option A, segmentation. So let's check the explanation. Segmentation is widely considered the best approach for a critical application on a legacy server because it balances the need of for security with the requirement for the application to remain functional. Legacy servers often have inherent unpatchable vulnerabilities, so hardening alone may be insufficient. By placing the server in a separate restricted network segment, a form of compensating control, access can be strictly limited to only the necessary users or systems, significantly reducing the attack surface and potential impact of a breach on the rest of the network, while still allowing the critical application to be used. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, segmentation. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, after a company was compromised, customers initiate a lawsuit. The companies ordinarily have requested that the security team initiate a legal hold in response to the lawsuits. Which of the following describes action the security team will most likely be required to take? Option A, retain the emails between the security team and affected customers for 30 days. Option B, retain any communications related to the security breach until further notice. Option C, retain any communications between security members during the breach response. And option D, retain all emails from the company to affected customers for an indefinite period of time. And the correct answer for this question is option B, retain any communications related to the security breach until further notice. So let's check the explanation. A legal hold, also known as a litigation hold, is a process initiated by an organization's legal counsel to preserve all form of potentially relevant information, documents, email data, etc. when litigation is pending for or reasonably anticipated. So that's why the correct answer for this question is retain any communications related to the security breach until further notice. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, which of the following describe the process of concealing code for or text inside a graphical image? Option A, symmetric encryption. Option B, hashing. Option C, data masking. Option D, steganography. And the correct answer for this question is option D, steganography. So let's check the explanation. So this is the practice of concealing code or text inside graphical image or other non-secret file in such a way that existence of the hidden message is not evident to an unsuspecting person. This differs from cryptography, which makes a message unreadable but its existing is obvious. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option D, steganography. So let's move to the next question. And the next question is, an employee receives a text message from an unknown number claiming to be the company chief executive officer and asking the employee to purchase several gift cards. So which of the following types of attacks does this describe? Option A, wishing. Option B, smishing. Option D, pretexting. Option D, phishing. And the correct answer for this question is option B, smishing. So let's check the explanation. So smishing is a type of social engineering attack that specifically uses SMS text messages to deceive individuals into revealing sensitive information or performing actions such as purchasing gift cards. The scenario perfectly fits this definition as a fraudulent communication occurs via text message. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option B, smishing. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, which of the following risk management strategies should an enterprise adopt? First, if a legacy application is critical to business operations and there are preventive controls that are not yet implemented. Option A, mitigate. Option B, accept. Option C, transfer. Option D, avoid. And the correct answer for this question is option A, mitigate. So let's check the explanation. Since the legacy application is critical to business operations, simply accepting the risk, transferring it, example via insurance, which doesn't stop an operational failure, or avoiding its use, which would stop operations, are not ideally primary strategies. The most logical and prudent first step is to mitigate the risk by implementing available preventive controls or compensating controls, example network segmentation, isolation, hardening, to reduce the likelihood and impact of potential security incidents to an acceptable level. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, mitigate. So let's move to the next question. The next question is visitors to secured facility are required to check in with a photo ID and enter the facility through an access control vestibule. So which of the following best describe is this form of security control? Option A physical, option B managerial, option C technical, option D operational. And the correct answer for this question is option A physical. So let's check the explanation. So physical security controls involves the use of tangible barriers, devices and procedures to protect physical assets and prevent unauthorized physical access to facilities or restricted areas. So that's why the correct answer for this question is A physical. So let's move to the next question. The next question is the local administrator account for a company's VPN appliance was unexpectedly used to log in into the remote management interface. Which of the following would have most likely prevented this from happening? Option A using least privilege, option B changing the default password, option C assigning individuals user IDs, option D reviewing logs more frequently. And the correct answer for this question is option B changing the default password. So let's check the explanation. Changing the default password would have most likely prevented this unauthorized access because many VPN appliances come with easily guessable or publicly known default credentials. An attacker could exploit this vulnerability to gain access. Changing the password to a strong, unique one makes it significantly more difficult for unauthorized users to log in. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option B, changing the default password. So let's move to the next question. The next question is which of the following is the best way to secure an on-site data center against intrusion from an insider? Option A, pollards, option B, access badge, option C, motion sensor, option D, video surveillance. And the correct answer for this question is option B, access badge. So let's check the explanation. An access badge system is the best way to secure a data center against an insider intrusion because it provides a direct preventive access control mechanism. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option B, access badge. So let's move to the next question. The next question is an engineer moved to another team and is unable to access the new team's shared folders while still being able to access the shared folders from the former team. After opening a ticket, the engineer discovers that account was never moved to the new group. Which of the following access control is most likely causing the lack of access? Option A, role based, option B, dictionary, option C, time of day, option D, least privilege. And the correct answer for this question is option A, role base. So let's check the explanation. The engineer's lack of access to the new team's shared folder is a direct result of the account not being moved to the corresponding new group. So which implies they have not been assigned the necessary role. In role-based access control RBSS system, access permissions are tied to users assigned role within the organizations. Example, engineer, manager, and HR. When the user's role change, moving to a new team, their access should be updated to reflect the permissions of the new role and revoke those the old role. Since this update did not happen, the old role's access remains and the new role's access is missing. So that's why the correct answer for this question is role-based access control. And this is the question. A security consultant needs secure remote access to a client environment. So which of the following should the security consultant most likely use to gain access? Option A, EAP, option B, DSCP, option C, IPsec, option D, NAT. And the correct answer for this question is option C, IPsec. So let's check the explanation for this answer. A security consultant would most likely use IPsec to gain secure remote access to a client environment because this is a cryptographic protocol suite that provides secure communication over IP networks. It can be used to create virtual private networks which allow secure remote access. VPNs encrypt and authenticate data packets, ensuring confidentiality, integrity, and protection from replay attacks. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option C, IPsec. So let's move to the next question. And the next question is, which of the following should a system administrator use to ensure an easy deployment of resources within the cloud provider? Option A, software as a service. Option B, infrastructure as a code. Option C, Internet of Things. Option D, software defined networking. And the correct answer for this question is option B, infrastructure as a code. So let's check the explanation. So infrastructure as a code allows administrators to define and manage cloud infrastructure through text files, enabling automated provision and deployment of servers, networks, and other resources, making it ideal for easy and consistent deployment within a cloud provider. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option B, infrastructure as a code. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, after a security awareness training session, a user called IT helpdesk and reported a suspicious call. The suspicious caller stated that the chief financial officer wanted credit card information in order to close an invoice. So which of the following topics did the user recognize from the training? Option A, insider threat. Option B, email phishing. Option C, social engineering. Option D, execute whaling. And the correct answer for this question is option C, social engineering. So let's check the explanation. So social engineering is a technique where attackers manipulate users into revealing sensitive information by pretending to be someone trustworthy, like the CEO or CFO in this case. The training likely covered recognizing these tactics and reporting suspicious interactions. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option C, social engineering. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, a security administrator is deploying a DLP solution to prevent exfiltration of sensitive customer data. So which of the following should the administrator do first? Option A, block access to cloud storage websites. Option B, create a rule to block outgoing email attachments. Option C, apply classifications to the data. Option D, remove all user permissions from shares on the file server. And the correct answer for this question is option C, apply classifications to the data. So let's check the explanation. The first step a security administrator should take when deploying a DLP solution is to C, apply classifications to the data, because this allows the DLP system to identify which data is considered sensitive and needs to be monitored and protected from exfiltration. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option C, apply classifications to the data. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, an administrator assists the legal and compliance team with ensuring information about customer transactions is archived for the proper time period. So which of the following data policies is the administrator carrying out? Option A, compromise. Option B, retention. Option C, analysis. Option D, transfer. Option E, inventory. And the correct answer for this question is option B, retention. So let's check the explanation. The administrator is carrying out a retention data policy by ensuring customer transaction information is archived for the proper time period. And a retention, this data policy refers to the practice of storing data for a specified period based on legal requirements, business needs, or compliance regulations. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option B, retention. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, a company is working with a vendor to perform a penetration test. So which of the following includes an estimate about the number of hours required to complete the engagement? Option A, SOW. Option B, BPA. Option C, CLA, SLA. Option D, NDA. And the correct answer for this question is option A, a statement of work. So let's check the explanation. A statement of work is a document that includes an estimate about the number of hours required to complete a penetration test. This document outlines the scope, timeline, deliverables, and cost of a project, including details like the estimated number of hours needed for completion. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, a statement of work. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, a chief information security officer wants to explicitly raise awareness about the increase of ransomware as a service in a report to the management team. So which of the following best describe the threat actor in the CISO's report? And the option A is insider threat, option B is hacktivist, option C nation state, option D organized crime. And the correct answer for this question is option D, organized crime. So let's check the explanation. So ransomware as a service is a business model where cyber criminals can rent out ransomware kits to others, making it easier for individuals with less technical expertise to launch ransomware attacks. This model is typically associated with the organized crime groups as it allows them to scale their operations and recruit a large network of affiliates to carry out attacks. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option D, organized crime. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, which of the following practices would be best to prevent an insider from introducing malicious code into a company's development process? Option A, code scanning for vulnerabilities. Option B, open source component uses. Option C, quality assurance testing. Option D, peer review and approval. And the correct answer for this question is option D, peer review and approval. So let's check the explanation. Peer review and approval is the best practice to prevent an insider from introducing malicious code into a company's development process because it involves multiple people with different perspectives reviewing and approving the code, so which can catch potential issues that might be missed by a single developer. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option D, peer review and approval. So let's move to the next question. And the next question is, which of the following can best protect against an employee inadvertently installing malware on company system? Option A, host-based firewall. Option B, system isolation. Option C, least privilege. Option D, application allow list. And the correct answer for this question is application allow list. So let's check the explanation. The application allow list, the security measures only permits pre-approved applications to run on a system, effectively blocking any unknown or potentially malicious software from being executed. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option D, application allow list. So let's move to the next question. And the next question is, a company is adding a clause to its AUP that states employees are not allowed to modify the operating system on mobile devices. Which of the following vulnerabilities is the organization addressing? Option A, cross-site scripting. Option B, buffer overflow. Option C, jailbreaking. Option D, side loading. And the correct answer for this question is option C, jailbreaking. So the jailbreaking by preventing employees from modifying the operating system on their mobile devices, and jailbreaking allows for unauthorized modifications to the system which can introduce security risk. Refers to the process of modifying the operating system on a mobile devices to gain administrative privileges, often allowing users to install unauthorized applications or bypass security restrictions. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option C, jailbreaking. And this is the question, which of the following would be the best ways to ensure only authorized personnel can access a secure facility? So choose two options out of these options. Option A, fencing. Option B, video surveillance. Option C, badge access. Option D, access control vestibule. Option E, sign-in sheet. Option F, sensor. And the correct answer for this question is option C and option D. Option C is badge access and option D is access control vestibule. So let's check the explanation. So badge access, the system requires individuals to scan a unique badge to gain entry, providing a direct method of verifying authorization and tracking who enters the facility. And access control vestibule, this is a secure area with multiple doors where individual must first authenticate themselves before proceeding further, adding an extra layer of security. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option C, badge access, and option D, access control vestibule. So let's move to the next question. And the next question is, an organization would like to store customer data on a separate part of the network that is not accessible to users on the main corporate network. So which of the following should the administrator use to accomplish this goal? Option A, segmentation. Option B, isolation. Option C, patching. Option D, encryption. And the correct answer for this question is option A, segmentation. So let's check the explanation. So segmentation involves dividing a network into smaller, manageable subnetworks, allowing for control access between them. This is ideal for isolating customer data from the main corporate network, ensuring that only authorized users can access the sensitive information. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, segmentation. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, which of the following is the most common data loss path for an air gap network? Option A, master host. Option B, unsecure Bluetooth. Option C, unpatched OS. Option D, removable devices. And the correct answer for this question is option D, removable devices. And let's check the explanation. An air gap network is physically isolated from other network to prevent unauthorized access, but removable devices like USB drives can introduce malware or sensitive data onto the system when plugged in, thus breaching the air gap security. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option D, removable devices. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, malware spread across a company's network after an employee visited a compromised industry block. So which of the following best describes this type of attack? Option A, impersonation. Option B, disinformation. Option C, watering hole. Option D, smishing. And the correct answer for this question is option C, watering hole. So let's check the explanation. The attack described is watering hole attack. This is because the attackers compromise a specific website that the target employees were known to visit frequently, an industry block to deliver malware. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option C, watering hole. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, an organization is struggling with scaling issues on its VPN concentrator and internet circuit due to remote work. The organization is looking for a software solution that will allow it to reduce traffic on the VPN and internet circuit while still providing encrypted tunnel access to the data center and monitoring remote employee internet traffic. So which of the following will help achieve these objectives? Option A, deploying a SIS solution to remote employees. Option B, building a load balanced VPN solution with redundant internet. Option C, purchasing a low cost SD-WAN solution for VPN traffic. Option D, using a cloud provider to create additional VPN concentrators. And the correct answer for this question is deploying a secure access service edge solution to remote employees. So let's check the correct answer, the explanation for this answer. So deploying a secure access service edge solution to remote employees is the correct answer because it integrates security and networking functions into a cloud-based architecture, which offloads traffic from the corporate VPN, reduces internet circuit strain, provides a secure access to the data center, and allows for monitoring of remote user traffic. This approach directly addresses the scaling issues caused by a large remote workforce. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, deploying a SaaS solution to remote employees. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, which of the following is the best reason to complete an audit in a banking environment? Option A, regulatory requirement. Option B, organizational change. Option C, self-assessment requirement. Option D, service level requirement. And the correct answer for this question is option A, regulatory requirement. So let's check the explanation. So banks are heavily regulated by financial authorities, and these regulations often mandate regular audits to ensure compliance with specific rules and standards. Non-compliance can lead to penalties, legal issues, and even loss of operating license. Therefore, completing an audit to meet regulatory requirements is the primary driver for most banking institutions. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, regulatory requirement. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, which of the following security concept is the best reason for permissions on a human resources file share to follow the principle of least privilege? Option A, integrity. Option B, availability. Option C, confidentiality. Option D, non-repudiation. And the correct answer for this question is option C, confidentiality. So let's check the explanation. The principle of least privilege means granting users only the minimum level of access needed to perform their job functions. In the context of HR files, this is a crucial for protecting sensitive employees' data like salaries, personal information, and medical records. By applying this principle, only authorized HR personnel can access this information, minimizing the risk of data breaches and unauthorized disclosure. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option C, confidentiality. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, which of the following are cases in which an engineer should recommend the decommissioning of network device? Choose two out of these options. Option A, the device has been moved from production environment to a test environment. Option B, the device is configured to use clear text password. Option C, the device is moved to an isolated segment on the enterprise network. Option D, the device is moved to a different location in the enterprise. Option E, the device's encryption level cannot meet organizational standard. And last option, the device is unable to receive authorized updates. So the correct answer for this question is option E and F. The device encryption level cannot meet organization standards and the device is unable to receive authorized updates. So let's check the explanation. So the device's encryption level cannot meet organization standards. That means if a device uses outdated or weak encryption, it poses a serious security risk of sensitive data. This is a strong reason for decommissioning it to prevent potential breaches. And the device is unable to receive authorized updates. That means devices that cannot receive security updates become vulnerable to known exploits and are unable to maintain a secure state. This makes them a liability and should be decommissioned. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option E and F. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, a company is required to perform a risk assessment on an annual basis. So which of the following types of risk assessments does this requirement describe? Option A, continuous. Option B, ad hoc. Option C, recurring. And option D, one time. And the correct answer for this question is option C, recurring. So let's check the explanation. So recurring, this means the risk assessment is performed on a regular schedule like annually, which aligns with the given requirement. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option C, recurring. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, after recent ransomware attacks on a company's system, an administrator reviewed the log files. So which of the following control types did the administrator use? Option A, compensating. Option B, detective. Option C, preventive. Option D, corrective. And the correct answer for this question is option B, detective. So let's check the explanation. So detective controls are designed to identify security incidents after they have occurred. Reviewing log files to detect suspicious activity after a ransomware attack is a classic example of detective control. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option B, detective. So I hope you are enjoying this video and this part has been completed. So study hard, good luck and thanks for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe the channel to see more video like this. I will upload next part shortly. Thanks for watching. Thank you.